Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libra, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. So before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the World card. All right, so I love this for you guys because there is an elevation here. So remember last week, you weren't quite there. Things weren't quite 100% ready. This week, with all planets direct, right? So no retrogrades, which means everything's your fault again. So this basically says, this is it, right? This is go time. And the fact that you've got the World card, this is the culmination of a much larger cycle in your life. So this week, not only do you see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you can see the new plateau that you are stepping onto. So this is a fresh start, a new beginning, and it is ultimately you performing at your best and your highest. Now, the other thing that comes up with the World card as well, because it can represent the world and our communities, this does suggest that this week, whether it's online, whether it's in person, your community, your people, your tribe are going to be an important and integral part of how you move forward this week. All right, so don't discount any of the connections that you have this week, especially. So you will have to forgive. Today it is unseasonably, but I am so happy and grateful for it, unseasonably bright today. So unfortunately the board is whited out. I've tried to shut the curtains so that you can at least see some of what's going on, and I'm using myself as a bit of a human shield. For your actions and options this week, you have the 8 of Cups. So this with the World card, for some of you, this could literally be plans to move, to change location. It might also be for some of you this week that you are choosing to break away from a certain community, a group, association or tie. And maybe you're doing this so that you can make space for the new tribe or the next place or connection that you're trying to make. Another way as well, remember, because this is your actions and options, this might actually be that you're doing some sort of group therapy or group retreat. I wouldn't be surprised if you were doing the latter, especially. For some of you, you might be putting on the retreat. You might not necessarily be attending one. You may be putting one on, and this is really, really great. For your communications and conversations, you have the World card. So look at this, right? A double hit of World card energy. So what this tells me is, this week, community is going to be a big part of everything that's happening for you. There are going to be big conversations, especially about elevating of status, about changing titles. For some of you, this might even be that you're getting letters after your name. This sort of connection and the World card, especially because your comms and convos is also your sort of career sector, it does suggest that for some of you this could be a week of promotions. For others, you could be becoming the head of a department or a certain arena. It could also be that you're, promotions, elevation, big status, maybe something that you're releasing out into the world gets noticed or gets picked up really quickly in ways that you kind of don't really imagine. So your work could go beyond you this week, and you just kind of like, whoa, okay, I guess I'm just along for the ride, but in the best way. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this looks like you're working out work placements, things like that. So this week you could be having a lot of conversations about where you're going to go, where do you want to gain the experience, and more importantly, where do you want your studies to allow you to specialize. So this could be really good when it comes to your oh, come on brain, when it comes to your I've completely forgotten. When it comes to those of you that are employed by somebody else, This could literally be a week where there is a promotion, there's talks of promotions. It may also be as well that you are put in charge of, I've already said that you're put in charge of some kind of department, or maybe there are talks about you heading a department. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this could be where you are starting to build a network of people, or maybe even a network of other businesses. There's definitely collaborations being made this week, but there's also some ties, professional, work-wise, etc., that are also being stripped back, right? So all in all, this could actually be really nice. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, this might see you really putting certain plans into place in order for you to release a certain place, right? And when I say release a certain place, sometimes the reason that our career or whatever it is just doesn't grow is because of the environment that we're in. Even if you don't necessarily interact with a lot of people there, there's, you know, like in astrocartography, that's astrology of place, right? And it shows you where the best energies are for you personally to live. I will say, like, if, you know, sometimes it's the place, sometimes the energy of a certain location just doesn't necessarily work for us. And I know I've found that for certain places that I've lived. And if you've been with me long enough, you know I have moved a hell of a lot. So for your love and relations, you've got the 9 of Cups. So we've got a speed up energy here, right? Because you've got the 8 and then you've got the 9. When you see a sequence of numbers like that, it means that things are speeding up towards the card that comes next. And that is the 9 of Cups. If you are single and looking and ready to mingle, you could be meeting someone this week, absolutely, and it's likely to be that this person there'll be an age gap. The World card tends to be people that are older, more distinguished, a bit of, you know, a little bit of salt and pepper in the hair or the beard. You know, like there tends to be someone that's older, or there's an age gap. Because you have the World card, this may actually be, let's say you have, you know, everyone says they don't have a type, but everyone has a type. Let's say you know, there's a certain culture that you find really fascinating, that you find really beautiful. You may end up connecting to somebody who is from a place like that, or is from that background, or that religion, or, you know, that kind of culture. It does also suggest as well, whoever you're connecting to has all of their own everything. Money, resources, success, blah, blah, blah. It's like there's nothing that this person requires from you. And I think that's what the connection really is, because they don't require anything from you and you don't require anything from them. It's a true meeting of equals, which for Librans is a very good thing. And it's actually one of the most desirable things. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this could be the not the release, but definitely this could be like a recalibration of some kind of emotional energy. So something like, let's say you've had a problem or an issue in the past, it could now not only be resolved, but you could get back to what we would consider like the honeymoon feeling, right? Like this is just a really nice card, and it's wishful fulfillment. So another way that this could show up, if you've had family members or issues within a family, this could be a week where things really do improve for the collective. For your money and materials, you have the Knight of Wands. So a lot of you, it does look like you're traveling this week. Some of you could be traveling to go and see a place that you're thinking about moving to, especially if it's like an international community. If this is somewhere that you're planning to be later on, this could literally be you going to check it out. Maybe the 8 of Cups is like, wow, you know what? Yes, this is amazing, and yes, it's going ahead. But the pang that I feel is like, wow, this, you know, it's going ahead. So I'm going to be breaking with my community. I'm going to leave my, you know, my parents or my hometown or whatever it is. It's a really momentous energy, but at the same time, it's like, wow. You know, it always comes with a little bit of sadness. It's strange, isn't it? Even if you feel kind of like, yeah, you know what, I don't want to be in this place anymore. Or if you've been there for so long, you do kind of feel like there's a part of you that goes through that, almost like a little bit of a mourning process, I guess. Now, with your finances, the Knight of Wands is beautiful, because this is a speeding up of the frequency of money that you're making from a community or your community. So this could be extra work, it could be overtime. it's going to be a very busy week for all of you, especially on the home front. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this card is great because it gives you a lot of energy. If you're wanting to initiate anything like a new health regime, etc., all of that kind of stuff, this is a great week to do it. Remember, all planets are direct now, so we got no excuses. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes out. Take care, and I'll see you soon.